Hello. Welcome to today's tip. This is all about how to create a lead magnet opt-in form and an automatic delivery, an email that delivers that free thing. So every single business owner should have some kind of free giveaway in order to collect email addresses, build up their audience behind the scenes in their own database. But how do you do it? I know all the time we hear people saying, get a free lead magnet, collect email addresses, but very rarely show the how. Unless, of course, you're following me. This is where I like to go behind the scenes and not just tell you what you need to do, but show you how to do it. So step number one is to, first of all, go and grab a free trial of ActiveCampaign, which is the email marketing software tool that I use in my business to create opt-in forms, to create landing pages, to auto-deliver emails, to do big marketing campaigns, and basically to automate my entire business. I absolutely recommend it. It's a fantastic platform. And with sarahcordner.com/active, you can grab yourself a free trial on that platform, which is exactly what I'm going to show you on a screen share how to do today. Now, what is a lead magnet? It's something you give away for free in exchange for an email. And for you, it could be a mini course. It could be a webinar. It could be a workshop recording. It could be an ebook. It could be some kind of template or document. And today I'm going to be showing you, I'm setting up for real a free lead magnet that I'm about to release, which is a course template workbook that you guys can use inside Canva. So I'm going to share my screen with you and I'm going to walk you through the actual process in real life, setting up a real opt-in that's going to go onto my website. So let me share my screen. Share my screen. It's coming. And we will pop you guys over here. And you will see now on my screen inside Canva, basically this is a course workbook template that has been produced that I'm going to be giving away for free as a lead magnet in my business. And if you want to know how to grab that, it's going to be right after this session available at sarahcordner.com/workbook. Now, before I do that, I'm just going to change my banner around at the bottom. You can use Canva, whether you're on the free account or the paid account, to create amazing lead magnets. Maybe it's an ebook you want to put together, some kind of guide, some kind of template document that people might like to use, a journal. All of those are really, really cool. And I found that lead magnets that are an instant download are very, very popular. So go into Canva and create yourself whatever your free thing is going to be. In this case, it's a workbook that I'm giving to people as a template they can suck into their Canva accounts to use to create their own course workbooks. I know, super generous. Now, here is something that you need to know. If you're sharing a template inside Canva, where you press the share button on the top right-hand side, that would usually be where you download your file. What you want to do is go and press on the little three dots at the bottom, which will expand the type of sharing you can do. And you'll see that you have an option called Share the Template Link. Now, when you share that template link rather than a normal share link, it will actually give people a button that will say copy into my account, meaning they can't edit this document as itself, like they can't edit the original version. They can copy a version of this into their own Canva account, and then they can edit it how they wish at that side without affecting your original file. So it's really, really cool. So click on template link, and it will give you the template link there. Now, that is the link that I am going to be giving to people who opt in, okay, eventually. But first, I need their email address. Now, how do I do that? Glad you asked. That's what I'm going to show you. Now, the first thing I'm going to need is some kind of visual to show people what they're going to get. Now, in this case, I'm going to keep it really, really simple. And I'm actually just going to simply take a screenshot of this file that you see on the screen here so that people can actually see that. I'm just going to scroll down. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. So I'm going to press minus, minus, minus so I can get it as small as possible. That is as small as it goes. So bear with me for 1 second while I go create a screen snap. And I'm going to screen snap what I have on my screen here so that people can have a look at exactly what it is they're going to be opting into. So I'm just going to save that file 1 second. I'm going to call it workbook image, just so I've got it in there. All right, now what I'm going to do is go on into ActiveCampaign. So make sure you grab that free trial at sarahcordner.com/active, and that will give you that free trial. Now, inside ActiveCampaign, on the left-hand side, you will have a little kind of globe icon. When you hover over it, it says site. Click on site, and then click on forms. And this is going to take us to the place where we basically can create opt-in forms. That is the place where people put in their name and their email address. So this is the all-important capture form, basically. So we're going to press the big blue button on the top right-hand side called Create a Form. I'm going to make this a tiny bit bigger for you so you guys can see it better. And first of all, I'm going to give it a name for me. So I'm going to call this Opt-in Form for the free course workbook template. All right, and I'm going to choose inline form. This just means it's just a standalone pop-up form. And then we get to choose, well, what happens when they fill this form in? Do we want them to subscribe to a list? Do we want to add a tag? By the way, we can also do that in the form editing area. So for instance, I might just add them to my Sarah Cordner mailing list when they opt into this form. So you can see here straight away, when they fill this in, they're added to the list. We could also add other options like tagging them. Tagging them is basically putting labels on them inside your system. So those labels tell you in an instance what it is that people have done, what they've bought, what they've downloaded, what they've purchased from you. And you can create really targeted email campaigns based on actions that people have taken or not taken. So I'm just going to put in here, when they fill this form, it's going to say downloaded the course workbook template. So now when somebody opts into this form, they get subscribed to my list and given that tag. And then we're going to press the big blue create button at the very bottom. All right. And so as someone says, you've just created an Active Campaign account this morning. Glad you signed up. You will not regret it. It's amazing. There's some really great stuff on there. And if you go to my YouTube channel, I've got a lot of tutorials on how to use Active Campaign effectively. So just sarahcorn.com/YouTube. And I've got loads of Active Campaign courses on there. So videos on there. I do have a whole Active Campaign course inside my academy as well. All right, so the first thing you're going to see when you come to the form editing area is a really standard blank empty form. So the first thing I want to do, this is basically what the students are going to see, is I'm going to want to tell the students, the client, the people opting in, what it is that they're getting. So I'm just going to put here really, really simply, get the course workbook template for Canva for free. And I like to put that again in capitals just to reassure people there's no payment for that free opt-in that they're getting. And then in this little section here, I like to write something like, pop in your best email address below, and I will send the template right to your inbox. I can spell. All right, so we've popped that note in for them there. So I'm going to make it a bit bigger so you can see again. Then we have a couple of options of what information we want to collect at this point. So when we click on the fields and click on the standard fields, I like to choose full name to first name, just so it's really simple. The reason why is that field is then saved in the back end of your system. So when you go to send emails, you can actually write emails that say hello first name, which is obviously a lot more personalized than it's saying hello Sarah Cordner, right? It's much nicer to just say hello Sarah. So that is the first thing I do. And as you can see there, all I had to do was drag and drop and it changed the field for me. Now, when it comes to a free opt-in, I also select the capture field. And if I drag and drop this over here, you'll see what that looks like. It basically gives that I am not a robot tick button, and this will stop you getting bot spam. Okay, so if you do not have the capture on there, there is a chance, and it has happened to me before, where bots basically just, pour in all these junk email addresses through to that form. And that is a pain in the butt to have to go and clean up all those junk email addresses. Basically, sticking the capture form in there is a fantastic part of the Active Campaign software in that it basically stops any bots being able to come in and basically load your account full of junk email addresses. Now, you can also edit the submit button by clicking on that. You can change that wording as well. So I'm going to change that to get it free, or get the workbook, get the free workbook. We can change the colors and everything on here as well. If we go to style, this is where we can change kind of the layout. I like it, or you can have it more, long, or you can have it more square. You can change the colors of the text, the background of the form, all the different font colors, the color of the button itself. So, for instance, if I wanted it a bit darker or more green, you can obviously see right there, you can play around and make it any color you like, basically. So I'm not going to fuss around too much with that. The one thing I do want to bring in is that photo we took. So when I click on fields and we click on standard fields, you'll see I've got the option to pull an image over. Now, by the way, you can also add in all kinds of other elements as well, but I'm just going to pull in the image one. So I'm going to drag and drop where I want that image to go. I'm going to click on it, press add a new image, and then I need to add a new image. So I'm just going to click on that one. Ta-da. And it will load up. So this bit may be a tiny bit slow for a second, so just bear with me while that uploads. I'm doing this live in real time, so there's no pausing going on here. And I can't even remember what I called that now. Course. Now, the thing about ActiveCampaign is the images don't load at the top. They load in name order. I'm pretty sure I called it course workbook template. So course. Bear with me a second. It's a bit slow. Downloads. Oh, I called it workbook image. Sorry, so it's going to be right at the very end. All the way down to W. There it is, workbook image. Okay, so just bear that in mind when you're naming your files and uploading them to ActiveCampaign. They come up in alphabetical order. So as you can see there, now we've got the get the course workbook template for Canva for free. It's got an image in there of what they're getting. It says pop in your best email address and first name, email. I'm not a robot, get the free workbook. Now, I wouldn't recommend putting in any other fields than that. The more fields you put, basically, the more of an obstacle you're creating for your audience. You want to make the opt-in process nice, straightforward, quick, and easy. And all we're going to do then, actually, there's going to be one more thing I'm going to show you, is inside options. This is where you can go in and add any other tags or any other actions or any other things that basically happen when those people opt in. So you'll see here underneath the options section, it says, what do you want to happen on submit? Do you want to show a thank you form? So at the moment it will say thank you. We can edit that and it can say, I've sent you your thing by email, or we can open a URL. So, if this was like an upsell or anything like that, we could send them straight to an upsell. So I might send these people immediately to an upsell, just to give you an example here of what you can do. For instance, I might send them my, what should I send them? I might send them to my academy. All right, so I'm going to type in www.sarahcordner.com/academy. So what this is basically saying is once they've submitted this form, they're immediately going to open another URL. That's where we're creating that upsell option, the pop-up that takes them to something else that they can buy instantaneously. Now, behind the scenes, and I'm going to carry on showing you this in a second, we're also going to make sure they get delivered their thing, right? That's really important. We're not just here to collect emails and make sales. We want to actually give them what it is that they signed up for, which I will be showing you. So on submit, we're going to open the URL to the upsell from this free thing. And I'm going to just make sure that they're being added to my list and they've been given the correct tag. Now, I'll just bring this to your attention is next to your list, you have a little gear icon and that says what other settings might be applied to people joining your list. Now, by default, again, ActiveCampaign is great in that it is GDPR compliant and it does take those considerations of privacy and data collection into consideration. And therefore, by default, we'll have the double opt-in confirmation turned on. What does this mean? It means that the people won't get your free thing until they first get their confirm that they want to be part of your email list. So when they fill the form in and press submit, they'll first get an email saying, please confirm your subscription. They press confirm and then the free thing will be sent to them. If you have that off, that double confirmation will not be turned on. Now, I cannot give you any legal advice around this. I am not in any way legally qualified, and I am definitely not a GDPR lawyer. So I just want to bring that to your attention. Talk to an attorney, talk to a professional in that space about what you should be doing in your country and in your industry. But just so that you're aware, that is where you turn that off or on. I'm just going to move forward for the next part. So you're going to simply press integrate on the top right-hand side. And then there's a number of different ways that you can start using this form. And the one that we want, quite simply, is to click on the link. And now we have this link. If I go and put this in an incognito window, in a different window, this is now the link straight away that we can instantly start sharing with the world. Okay, so I can now go and share that link all over Facebook. I can put it in the descriptions of my YouTube videos. I could put it in my Facebook bio, my Facebook business page bio, my Instagram bio, right? And it could be come and get my free thing. All of the content you have out there, your blog, this is now exactly how straight away I can start collecting emails. But we've got one more step to do before that. We now need to make sure that the person is going to receive it, right? So to do that, I'm going to press save and exit while I've got the form open up over here just for later on. Now we're going to create what's called an email automation or an automated email. And this email will send automatically as soon as somebody fills in that form. So I'm going to head on over to the left-hand side of my Active Campaign dashboard and click on automations. All right, it's a little arrow with a wheel in there. We're going to press create an automation in the top right-hand side. And this will then give us the option to import other people's automations or use templates that are provided by Active Campaign, but we're going to start from scratch. I always prefer starting from scratch myself. And this is going to give us the option now. Excuse me, I'm going to get a bit warm here, taking that big jumper off, to create our email. So the first thing that will pop up automatically will be, hey, what's going to start this automation? What triggers this automation? What's the trigger that makes this fire and take place? Well, you'll see here that one of our options is submitted a form. So we're going to click on that. That basically means when somebody submits a form, please start this automation. So Active Campaign will say, cool, what form? So we're going to go and find the form that we just created. And so it's my opt-in form for my free course workbook template. And then I'm going to press add start. So now what that's doing, I'm just going to cross out of this, is you'll see here, this automation starts when somebody submits that particular form. That is what's going to fire off this automation. Before I go any further, I'm going to name my automation free course workbook template. All right, save. So somebody submits the form. So what happens now? We're going to press the add button. Let me make this bigger for you. We're going to press the add button and it will say, what do you want to do? We're going to send an email. So let's create an email. This is for you. So I'm just going to call this delivery of the Canva workbook. Oops, can't spell. Workbook template. Press create. And now it will take us into the email editing area. So let's click on that. And I'm going to build it from scratch. And I like using the newsletter layout. So I'm just going to click on that. Now we have the subject. This is the subject that will be in the recipient's email inbox. So I'm going to write, here is your course workbook template. And then I like to do comma and personalize it. There's a little picture of a person on the right-hand side. Click on that and choose first name, press save and close. So what that will actually say, if I scroll in even closer, the subject line will say, here is your course workbook template, first name. I'm even going to remove the word course to make it a bit shorter. First name. So it will fill in automatically their first name. How does it do that? Because they put their first name into the form. This is where the clever technology comes in. I'm going to press continue. So now we've got the subject line done. And now we are in our email editing area. Now, by default, you'll always see this random image turn up. So hover over the image, press the icon, delete this. Are you sure? Yes. And then you've got some random default text. So you just press delete. I'm going to increase my font size to 14, 15. So I'm going to write hello and then personalize. Let's make this a bit bigger for you. Personalize first name, comma. So that will actually fill their first name in. Here is your workbook template. Oops, no, now I need to go back and get that link from Canva because I've copied it to something else. I'm going to go back to Canva, go to share, click on more, go to template link, grab copy, then go back to my automation and I'm going to paste that link in there. Oh, now that looks super ugly because it's really, really long. So I'm going to delete that and I'm actually going to write, click here to import into your Canva account. Right, so I've put it in really big capital letters. I'm going to highlight it, press bold, and then click on this linking icon. And we're going to add that link to where it says URL and press OK. So now it's nice and tidy. All right, we don't have that massive long gobbledygooky URL. It just says, here is your workbook template. Click here to import it into your Canva account. You can then edit the template however you wish. Hope I can spell again. I hope you find this helpful. Now, when you've got an opt-in, a free opt-in, and people are meeting you basically for the first time, this is also a really great opportunity for you to tell people how else you can help them, and maybe get them to join a Facebook group or something that you might have as well. So I'm going to go into my Edupreneur Facebook group, and I am just going to grab the URL for that, because these people are coming across me for the first time if it's a lead magnet. So I'm going to go here. In the meantime, you may like to join my Facebook group, and I'll just pop the link in there. Now, you got to remember, none of these links will be clickable unless you make them clickable. So you have to highlight it, click on link, and then paste that link in there, and so that makes it clickable, okay? If you need any help creating your online courses, feel free to book a call with me. All right, so I'm just going to grab my booking link over here, sarahcordiner.com/services. I just want to make sure that it's the full HTTPS URL. Grab that. Okay, so now I'm just going to pop that in there. And I need to, again, make sure it's linked. So highlight it, press link, press paste, boom, you've now got your link. Kind regards, Sarah Cordiner. All right. So that's really all you need to have in an initial delivery email. Hopefully, if you followed my instructions when it comes to email marketing and all the training that I've got out there on email marketing, you would then have these people automatically feed into what's called a welcome sequence and welcome automation, which is then going to give them some helpful tips over a period of time and slowly warm them up to your other paid offerings or paid services. At this stage, however, I'm not going to bombard them with sales. I'm just going to give them like that one by the way, and that's it. Leave them alone. All right, let them enjoy their free thingy. And then I'm going to press next, big blue button on the top right hand side. So I just had someone saying, which website is this? This is called Active Campaign for those who have just joined. You can grab a free trial, put the link below, sarahcordiner.com/active. You can get yourself a free trial on this software if you want to give it a play. All right, so we're just going to check that our subject line is what we want it to be. And we're happy with the basic settings on there. And I'm simply going to press finish. And that will now be active as soon as I press the green button over here. So I'm going to press save, first of all. So we've got our automation here. It starts when they submit the form to get the freebie, and then we deliver them the email. And then I am simply going to click on conditions and workflow and end this automation. That's it. All right, we want this to be nice and simple, and then press active. So now what we have is when somebody fills in this form, they are automatically delivered that workbook template. But what we do have at the moment is a bit of a gobbledygook type URL. Oh, I can't zoom in too much from there. So at the moment, that URL is maintraining.activehosted.com/f/102. I mean, that's a bit of a mouthful. And if I am, wanting to mention this really quickly in marketing videos, YouTube videos, TikToks, things like that, that's a lot of mouth to say. So I want to make a pretty URL. So I want this to actually be sarahcordiner.com/workbook template. How do you do that? Well, this can only really be done if you have your own website domain for it to be your own URL. So the final touch for me is to just make that URL look nice. So I'm going to go into the back end of my website. I'm using a WordPress website. You can also do this in Wix and Square and everything else as well. I'm going to go to Tools and click on Redirection. And this is going to create a redirect link, basically. So I can say, come to sarahcordiner.com/workbook template, and it will send people to that active campaign form instead. All right, so let me go into here. I'm going to press add a new redirection. I'll make it bigger for you, and I can't see this very well. So add a new redirection. And what's the source URL? That's the URL that I'm giving out. So I'm going to say, come to sarahcorn.com/workbook template. All right, choose words that are easy to spell and easy to say and easy to hear. Workbook template, I think, is pretty easy for me to say when I'm in a video. Then select query to ignore and pass all parameters to the target. What this means is it doesn't matter if it's capital letters or lowercase letters, it's still going to redirect people to the right place. And what's the target URL? The target URL is where you actually want them to land, which is our opt-in form. So I'm going to grab that gobbledygook URL that came from ActiveCampaign, and I'm going to paste that in the target URL box. And then press add redirect, and boom, we now have, and let's test it. I'm going to go and log in incognito. I'm going to test what will happen here. If this will work, I'm not sure because I'm logged in as me. It doesn't always work. sarahcordner.com/workbook template. I can spelled it correctly. Hit enter and it should open up the ActiveCampaign form. It's redirecting. Excellent. So there's the ActiveCampaign form we've just created. So if I now go in and type in my first name, Sarah at sarahcordner.com. I'm not a robot. Oh dear. Okay, so here we go. I've got to select all the chimneys. And this is why it stops you getting robots, by the way. So it is worth it. And then get the free workbook. So now this should redirect me, remember, to the upsell. So hopefully this will take me to my Academy page. Boom. So this is now the upsell page that we created. Now behind the scenes, hopefully I've received the email with my free thing as well. So I'm just going to double check my emails. Always opt into your own stuff, guys, to make sure that it's working. It's really important that you do that. And boom. So I can now confirm. Let me stop sharing this screen here. Here is your workbook template, and there's that email we just created. Hello, Sarah. See, it's put in my first name for me, and it's got the link to my Canva thing. So I'm just going to click that and check it works. So step 2, guys, is always check that it actually works, that it does open up the link you want, and there we go. So that's now given the link, and because we used a template link for Canva, all the user has to do is press use template, and that will copy over into their account. So there you go, in less than half an hour. That was exactly how to create a lead magnet opt-in and an automation to deliver that opt-in and provide an upsell and a beautiful link as well. I hope you found that helpful. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments. And of course, if you want to learn more stuff like this in much more detail, grow your own online business, you are definitely going to want to come and join my Edupreneur Academy. For just $79, you get access to well over 50 of my online courses, all of my monthly challenges, so much stuff, masterminds every single month that are basically focused on helping you get your online business up and running and succeeding, bringing in paying customers. At the end of the day, the focus for business is helping people and doing that in a way that is profitable for you as well, so that you can keep growing, keep expanding, and keep helping even more people for even more profit. Everyone's a winner. So if you've got any questions, drop them in below. Otherwise, thank you so much for jumping into another one of these sessions. If you like it, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you real soon for another session. See you.